Hey everyone, it's Meesh back for my second video. I got a question from Chelsea M89. She asks, any advice on long distance relationships? Well, sure, Chelsea, I do. I have plenty actually. There are a lot of things that you have to deal with when you're in a long distance relationship, more so than you're in a close distance one. So here are just a couple of tips to help just make it a little bit easier on you. The first thing you and your partner are going to want to do in a long distance relationship are set some ground rules out and basically be very clear about what both of you want out of the relationship and be very upfront about it. Are you both going to be completely monogamous? Sorry about that. Or is that thing that was mentioned in Road Trip where if you're in different zip codes it's fine for you to be with somebody else? Is that going to be okay with the two of you? How often are you going to communicate? Is it going to be once a day, once a week, less, more? It's up to you guys, really. And how are you going to communicate? Is it going to be instant message, phone, text, email? This is all things you guys are going to have to decide and work together and basically mold to what fits the both of you. Another thing you guys are going to want to do is schedule a time to communicate and stick to it. One very big misconception about long-distance relationships is that you have to spend every waking minute with your partner, on the phone, texting, instant message, whatever. But the reality of it is that in any other relationship where you're not long-distance, what it's based on are things like dates, phone calls, etc., things like that. You know, you're not spending every waking minute together, so why should you have to do it in a long-distance relationship? You just have to make sure that you have the time to talk. So, for example, if I'm working from 6 in the morning to 3 in the afternoon, and my partner has class from 2 in the afternoon until 5 in the afternoon, then obviously we're not going to be able to talk from 6 a.m. to 5 p.m. And to schedule that time that we're going to talk at 5 p.m. would just be inconvenient because there would be no time for ourselves, no time for my partner to get back from class, and no time for either of us to eat dinner. So, in a situation like that, we'd probably want to schedule our time more around 9-ish so we have some time to ourselves and things like that, and also time to do activities with our friends, everything like that. But whatever you two are comfortable with, really. And you know those phone calls that you get where they're just like, oh, I just called because I was thinking about you? Those are fine to do occasionally, once in a while, but you don't need to call 50 times a day, seriously. I actually had a very close friend who had a boyfriend like that, and trust me, it's annoying for everybody involved. The only one who wasn't annoyed was the guy calling. And yeah. Another thing you're going to want to do is really plan out a date to end the long-distance part of the relationship by. What I mean by that is, without a goal date that you guys are going to be together permanently, the long-distance part of the relationship could just go on forever. And that is frustrating. I mean, a long-distance relationship is frustrating for anybody to begin with, but when you don't know when it's going to end, when you don't know when you're going to be together finally, it just makes it that much harder, and it's going to make your partner doubt if you're really serious about the relationship. And along with that, even, like, let's say you know when the long-distance part of the relationship is going to end. Let's say you know you're going to be together completely in a year. Then are you really going to make your partner wait from, April 12th of this year to April 12th of next year before you see each other again? I mean, that's a long time. So what you're going to want to do are plan some visits in between. It's going to be a reminder of exactly why you're in the relationship together, what you both are missing. And it's also going to help ease the frustration of the distance to begin with. It's like a marker point in between. It's also going to help get you guys away from electronics. No phone, no computer, just have time to communicate with one another and be intimate. And don't go there and just hang out the whole time, don't just sit on the couch for 3 days. Try to make something cool out of it, like a mini vacation sort of thing. Something that is with both of your interests. And if you don't really have a lot of money to spend, you can make it inexpensive and unique to the two of you. So, for example, let's say you're both into animals. Why not check out the zoo? I mean, you could have been 100 times, but it's usually a different experience when you go with somebody that you care about. So anything like that. I mean, you could both be into history, art history, so go to a museum. Just, little things like that. It'll keep the relationship growing despite the distance and despite the time apart. It's always something that you guys can refer back to. One great thing about a long-distance relationship, but I know you're probably thinking that I'm strange for saying that there's anything positive about a long-distance relationship, but you do get a lot more independence when you're in a long-distance relationship. You get to grow as a person and discover yourself. A lot of times, especially people my age, they're still trying to figure themselves out. So with a long-distance relationship, you get the time to do that. You're not focused on the other person 24/7. Especially with what I said before, with the scheduled time, you get some free time to reflect on yourself, some free time to figure out who you are. And there's nothing holding you back, so you can accomplish your goals. And one big thing about being in a close-distance relationship is a lot of times people feel like they're being suffocated, like they're spending too much time with their significant other, and you don't get that with long-distance relationship. Don't let the distance stop you from doing things together. And I know you're probably like, huh? What? How can you do things together? Well, there are actually a lot of things that you can do. I actually found a website, which I'll post over there, and it has 70 different things that you can do with your partner when you're in a long-distance relationship. It includes, playing games together, watching movies, all sorts of things that you do when you're in a close-distance relationship, just without the physicality of it. And I'll post that, like I said, I'll put the link in the sidebar. Now, the most important thing in a long-distance relationship is you really need to try to avoid that controlling, jealous feeling that you get, and you really need to try to stay positive. Long-distance relationships are where the green monster of jealousy seems to rear its ugly head the most. Why is that? Well, that's pretty simple. I mean, you're not actually there to check to make sure that your partner's doing exactly what they're saying they're doing. But think about it. Aren't most relationships based on trust and honesty? You need to learn to trust yourself and your partner and be honest with both yourself and your partner. And this will help to avoid any jealousy and trust issues, because keep in mind, your partner is going through the same what-ifs and doubts that you are. And if you've remained faithful, then why not give them the benefit of the doubt and let them say that they've remained faithful as well? I mean, if you do have, however, some serious doubts about the person, if there are some signals that are going off that you really think that he might be cheating on you, you can check out my other video. It's called How to Spot a Cheater. And you can, hear some of the things that I had to say about that, which could help point you in the right direction, whether or not it's a cheating situation. It's not fail-proof, mind you, but it's just a little help how to spot a cheater out of, just maybe your own insecurities. And like I said before, just try to keep a positive attitude about the relationship and just about everything in general. Because if you're negative all the time, it's only going to bring your partner down. It may possibly cause them to question your seriousness about the relationship, and on top of that, it's going to make them second-guess your fidelity. Now, a little bit of positivity, I know this is so cliche, but a little bit of positivity can go a long way. So that's really all for today. If you do have any questions about anything, be it me, my opinions, if you have questions about relationships, friendships, anything at all, then you can send me a message, comment down there, or you can tweet me, and I will put my link in the sidebar. So I'll do my best to answer the questions, and you have a good one.